And listen, yesterday was hard, and maybe nobody knows just how hard it really was. And maybe you smiled when you wanted to scream. Maybe you said, "I'm okay," when you were anything but okay. Maybe you went to sleep carrying thoughts you couldn't shut off, and maybe somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, you started believing that today would feel exactly like yesterday. Dementia. But look at you, you woke up, and that means something to me, Diane, because no matter what yesterday took from you, it did not take today. Today is still yours. It's a new day, and I know that sounds simple, maybe even too simple, because when you're hurting, somebody telling you tomorrow is a new day doesn't always make the pain disappear, Mond. But sometimes a new day isn't about everything suddenly becoming perfect. Sometimes a new day is simply an invitation. Blem's an invitation to stop carrying what you were never meant to carry forever. Ben, so before you get out there and fight the world, take a breath, slow down. You made it here. And that's enough for this moment. You don't have to have your entire life figured out this morning. And you don't have to know how everything's going to work out. You don't need every answer. You just need enough courage to take the next step, because that's how life changes. And not always through one giant miracle. Sometimes it changes through one small decision, one deep breath, one prayer, one workout. Jen, one healthy meal, one honest conversation, one decision to get out of bed when everything inside you says, stay there. Ben, that's strength too. You may not feel strong, but you're still here. And sometimes survival is the first form of strength. Yesterday belongs to yesterday. Let it stay there. Splend. You don't have to keep reopening the same wound just because you remember how it happened. And you don't have to punish yourself for mistakes you made when you didn't know what you know now. Matt, you don't have to keep living inside a moment that already ended. You are allowed to move forward. Blended. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to become somebody different. And here's the beautiful thing about a new day. Nobody has written the ending yet. Not your past, and not your failures, not the people who walked away, not the people who doubted you. Men's not the person who hurt you, not even the version of yourself that gave up for a while. Lemon today hasn't been written. You get a blank page, and maybe that's what you needed. A blank page, a fresh beginning. Jeaned a chance to say, I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I'm not going backward. That's enough. Trans, you don't need to run, walk. You don't need to conquer everything today. Start with yourself. Start with your mind. Start with your breathing. Start with the way you speak to yourself. Legend. Because you've spent enough time listening to that voice telling you that you're not enough. Band, you're not strong enough, you're too late, you've made too many mistakes, you should be further ahead. Glean, stop. Just stop. Who told you that your life had to happen on somebody else's schedule? Mensch, you are not late, you're alive. And as long as you're alive, there is still room for growth. I'm done. Still room for healing, still room for love, still room for purpose. Still room for dreams you haven't even imagined yet. So don't look at your life and only see what's missing. Look at what's still standing. Look at yourself. You're still standing. Maybe you're bruised. Maybe you're tired. Umbelia, maybe you've been through things that changed you, but you're standing. And there's something powerful about a person who has been knocked down and still wakes up saying, I'm going to try again. Blamed, that's not weakness, that's courage. And maybe today doesn't need to be extraordinary. Maybe today just needs to be better than yesterday. Drink some water, open the curtains, let the light in. And step outside, feel the air, move your body, put on some music, pray, think, write, work, rest, and whatever you do, do it with intention, because this day is not something to rush through. It's something to live. You have another sunrise, another morning, another opportunity to experience something you've never experienced before. Don't overlook that. And there are people who would give anything for another ordinary morning. So don't treat your life like it's ordinary. See? And you woke up, you have breath in your lungs, your heart is beating, your story is still moving. And that means there's still work to do, but there's also still beauty to find, And maybe you've been waiting for life to give you a reason to smile. Maybe today you give yourself one. Maybe you stop waiting for permission to be happy. And maybe you realize that happiness doesn't always arrive as some massive event.
Maybe yesterday was about surviving. Maybe today is about becoming, because there comes a moment when you look at yourself and realize, can't keep being the same person. Not because I hate who I was, but because I've outgrown who I had to become just to survive. The old me knew how to endure. The old me knew how to hide pain behind a smile. The old me knew how to say, I'm fine, when everything inside was falling apart. The old me knew how to keep going when nobody was there to help. And I'm grateful for that person, because that version of me got me here. But I don't want to live in survival mode anymore. I want to really live. I want to wake up without immediately thinking about everything that went wrong. I want to look in the mirror and see possibility instead of regret. I want to stop defining myself by what happened to me, because what happened to me is part of my story, but it is not the entire story. There is more. There is still more. And that's why I'm becoming a new me. Not a perfect me, a real me, a stronger me, a wiser me, a softer me, a me who finally understands that strength isn't always about fighting. Sometimes strength is walking away. Sometimes strength is saying no. Sometimes strength is admitting that hurt me. Sometimes strength is resting. Sometimes strength is forgiving yourself. And sometimes strength is finally choosing yourself after spending years choosing everybody else. I'm learning that I don't have to chase people who don't value me. I don't have to beg for attention. I don't have to prove my worth. I don't have to keep explaining myself to people who have already decided to misunderstand me. The new me doesn't need everybody to understand. The new me needs peace. And peace has become more valuable than approval, because I've learned something. You can lose yourself trying to keep everybody else happy. You can become so busy being what everyone else needs that you forget who you are. Not anymore. I'm coming back to myself, slowly, quietly, one decision at a time. I'm rebuilding my confidence. I'm rebuilding my discipline. I'm rebuilding my faith. I'm rebuilding the parts of myself I abandoned while trying to survive. And maybe people won't recognize me. That's okay. I'm not becoming the person they remember. I'm becoming the person I need to be. Some people may say, you've changed, and I hope they do, because change means I'm growing. Change means I'm healing. Change means I'm no longer willing to repeat the same patterns just because they're familiar. I don't want familiar pain. I want unfamiliar peace. I want unfamiliar happiness. I want to experience what it's like to wake up and not feel like I'm fighting myself. So I'm letting go. I'm letting go of old expectations, old guilt, old fears, old versions of myself, old conversations I keep replaying in my head, old mistakes that cannot be changed. I'm taking the lesson and leaving the weight, because I don't need to carry everything I've been through into everything I'm becoming. Some things belong in the past, and that's where I'm leaving them. The new me is gonna move differently, think differently, love differently, speak differently, and most importantly, you choose differently. I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing discipline. I'm choosing health. I'm choosing growth. I'm choosing people who bring light instead of confusion. I'm choosing goals that make me uncomfortable. I'm choosing mornings where I get up even when motivation isn't there. I'm choosing to take care of this body. I'm choosing to take care of this mind. I'm choosing to protect my energy, and I'm choosing to believe that my future deserves more attention than my past. I don't know exactly who I'm becoming yet, and honestly, that's exciting, because for the first time, I'm not trying to become who somebody else wants me to be. I'm discovering who I am. And maybe that's the real transformation, not becoming somebody completely different, but finally meeting the person who was buried underneath the fear, underneath the disappointment, underneath the rejection, underneath the pain. That person is still there, and I'm bringing them back. So when you see me tomorrow, don't expect yesterday's version of me, because yesterday taught me, pain shaped me, failure humbled me, loss changed me, but none of those things get to define me. I define what comes next, and what comes next is different. I'm not promising that I won't fall. I'm not promising that I won't have bad days. I'm not promising that fear will disappear. I'm promising something better. When I fall, I'll get back up. When I'm afraid, I'll keep moving. When I'm tired, I'll rest, then continue. And when life tells me I'm finished, I'll remind life that I haven't written my final chapter yet. This is a new day.